So in front of me, I have the 15-inch MacBook Air, and I will be doing a comparison between my 13-inch MacBook Air. And these are both the M2 variants. And longtime viewers of the channel will know why I have this laptop here. If you look at the length of the video, it's gonna be a fairly short one because there is one defining feature between the two that will make the decision a lot easier for you, and that isn't on the spec sheet. I'll go over the general design, features, and potential reasons of why you might be swayed towards the 15-inch, and maybe why you might want to save some money and get the 13-inch instead. You know who else is swaying today's video? Our sponsor, Nobody. So the 15-inch M2 Air is the bigger sibling to the 13-inch M2 Air. You have the same ports with two Thunderbolt 4 slots, MagSafe, a headphone jack, the same keyboard, Touch ID is still the same, the webcam is the same. It's overall the same machine. The most obvious difference is going to be the display. Now, there has been a lot of talks about how much better the speakers sound on the M2 Air, and I'll do a comparison video of that real quick. Now, the one thing I want to touch on is even though this does have impressive speakers, I don't want to take anything away from the regular M2 13-inch MacBook Air because these speakers are better than most Windows laptops in the 13-inch category. So I don't think anyone is going to be disappointed with speakers with either system. Now, the trackpad is also bigger to compensate for the bigger chassis design as well. But the reality is with all these comparison videos, it's the same machine, guys. Even the one you're watching right now, and probably the many others you've wasted time watching, it's literally just a bigger machine than the 13-inch MacBook Air we all know and love. Well, sort of. Now, after using the 15-inch for some days, the thing I realized the most that isn't on a spec sheet is the lifestyle difference between the two. And sure, we can give Apple a round of applause for making a powerful notebook that is ridiculously thin and light, but no matter how you dice it, it's still a 15-inch laptop. I get it that it's all personal preference and what people find comfortable, but as a person who uses their laptop on the couch, sometimes in the car, on the plane, and most importantly on my lap, the 13-inch is perfect and the 15-inch isn't so perfect. And despite how light it is, using this in my lap just isn't as comfortable as my 13-inch. I find myself wanting to put this on a desk or some type of table and then getting my work done. And this is the same problem I ran into with the 16-inch, and it's that even though we are getting a bigger screen, better speakers versus the smaller inch counterpart, it's a trade-off because you have to take an account for the bigger size, and it's just too big for my lifestyle of how I use laptops. Now, I do a lot of programming and I have stuff open up in Visual Studio Code, and in reality I'm only seeing an extra 4 to 6 lines, and if I wanted to get more space I'd probably just zoom out on the 13-inch, and the same goes for reading articles online. The other thing I noticed is when I'm using the 15-inch, it's physically further away from me because the screen is just so big. Like when I try using this on my lap or on my small table, I have to physically move the device back just so everything can be in my field of view. And it's probably like a difference of like 2 inches, but those 2 inches can be felt when I go back to my 13-inch M2 Air. Although ergonomically, I will say the 15-inch is better because since the display is further back, at least for me, my arms are more extended and my eyes probably won't be as strained. And I also have more freedom due to the size of the trackpad here. What I want to give you guys is if you have the opportunity to try the 15-inch out in store, I encourage you because cameras and videos don't do it justice. This really is a bigger machine than what you might think. And I know many people are saying that consumers don't need to spend $2,000 or $2,500 to get a big MacBook anymore, which is true. This is the first time ever we have a Air laptop by Apple in 15 inches. Now, I'm not trying to make it seem like the 15-inch isn't a good laptop. It is. I've already seen this laptop in the wild. Like if you do a lot of reading or want to enhance your multitasking, this is the MacBook for you. And if you want to edit your vacation videos or make your photos look even better with the snap of your fingers due to the M2 processor, the 15-inch is going to be a better machine for that. But if you're primarily going to be editing videos and doing photo processing as your daily job, you're probably looking at the wrong laptop. That's what the Pro is going to be used for. However, in terms of performance, these laptops are going to be completely identical. The price difference between the two is $200, and the only real reason to get the 15-inch is if you want a bigger MacBook in general. If you're a person who is used to using larger laptops and don't want to take anything less than 15 inches, then 15 inches should be your go-to. For people like me that want the versatility and portability of the 13-inch and it still packs a punch wherever you go, that's why Apple made this laptop for us. The question you need to ask yourself is, are you willing to pay an extra $200 for more screen and a potential lifestyle change? If not, I would recommend the regular M2 Air. And if you look at it in inverse, like what am I losing out on by not spending that extra $200? Honestly, not much other than the display. I feel like people who are going to be drawn to the 15-inch are going to be people who do a lot of word processing, data processing with Excel and whatnot. But if this is going to be your everyday laptop, I would recommend the 13-inch M2 Air 9 times out of 10. But the one caveat I want to say is if you enjoy watching movies and TV shows on your laptop, trust me, the 15-inch will be worth it. Now, as per usual on my channel, my recommendation is to upgrade one component, which is the RAM when it comes to the Air. For the target audience of the device, the SSD thing is not that big of an issue. You can get away with the base model, honestly, but just know going into it that the longevity of your device might be handicapped sooner. So that's why on this channel, we recommend that you upgrade the RAM. Now, if you don't care about the 14-inch or the 16-inch whatsoever due to the price category or to their price bracket, since they start at $2,000, then upgrade the 15-inch to your heart's content. Same goes for the 13-inch as well. And this is what makes Apple's lineup really special, because in terms of performance, the base, or I should say the entry-level models that they have are capable of doing so much. And now that we have two choices of whether we want a smaller or bigger display, we can pretty much choose how much RAM and storage we want without having to pay the premium of the Pro models that start at $2,000. But just don't forget about the used market. So I will have an upcoming video between the 15-inch MacBook Air and the 14-inch MacBook Pro. That one is going to be a little bit more interesting. You guys let me know which one of these two laptops you would get based on your own personal lifestyle. Hopefully you found this video informative. I appreciate every single sub, like, and comment. And as always, guys, much love. Good job, Apple.